Welcome back to Casual Conversations. I am your host, Ryan Bean, here with the talented co-host, Elena Sweetser, and we are back better than ever, back in the backyard, enjoying a fire pit.
It's a really nice day.
Yeah, it's actually a beautiful Texas. This is what we're used to in December, not this 35-degree weather we had last week.
We still we like our vests and like to look like it's cold, but we can still go outside.
Yeah, this is manageable. This is manageable.
But before we dive into the episode, I wanted to shout out to Ryan. They just hosted an amazing Christmas party, annual Christmas party last year. They do themed every year. Ryan has no part of the planning. Let's be honest. The details.
I always throw ideas at Allison, and then she shoots them down. But she does it politely. She's like, that idea sounds like it sucks.
I'll put that in the basket of nopes.
That is spot on correct. That is spot on correct.
So they did plaid or flannel.
Yes.
Theme. It was super cute, well thought out. They had a axe throwing truck that came in, which was brilliant. That wasn't even on my radar for y'all. I was trying to think of what she was going to do. So we all roll up to their house, and then you just see the axe throwing there.
Yeah.
Allison had little challenges that everybody had to do.
Yes.
So like you couldn't let people know you were doing it. Like mine was
a secret mission for prizes. So she gave people secret missions if they wanted them.
Yeah.
So it's something they have to do at the party. Well, and the reason she does is because it makes you break the ice.
Yeah.
It makes you like talk to people that maybe you're not comfortable with or you don't know, because we bring in people from, just from different circles that we're in into these parties. But the whole idea is we want you to meet other people and
not just stay in little cliquies.
Exactly right.
And so mine was that I picked, and I ended up not doing it because I wasn't drunk enough because I had a holiday party the next day. So I was on drink one. But mine was supposed to be where I had to stand on the chair and yell, "I just love you all so much."
You pulled it off.
I didn't. I made Amber do it for me.
Oh, wow. So I remember someone doing it.
I didn't take the prize.
Okay.
But so stuff like that. It was really fun.
So, we love doing it every year. It's something that we're blessed to do. And
you know what? You guys have
budget goes out the window. My wife doesn't ever tell me what all these little secret things she does because she knows I'll probably drive me crazy on what she spends on it.
You delivered the cheese display. You guys had a successful gift exchange this year.
Yeah,
it went really smooth in my opinion.
Yeah, that was on me. That was actually one of my my contributions to the Christmas party this year. Was I'm like, Allison, the gift exchange thing is a nightmare. I'm like, it's not fun. So it used to be back in the day where it was a gift per person. Yeah. So the males were included with it as well. And like we get 50, 60 people typically in the house. I'm like, Allison, it's that thing, it takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like it's a waste of time and the guys don't care.
Yeah.
The wives love it because it breaks everything up.
Yeah.
So I said, because we do what's it called? Where you exchange gifts. White elephant.
Yeah.
White elephant, yeah. And I said, do it with a twist.
Yeah.
And the way we did it this year, I said, because you want to make it towards like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. That way people can go back to the party, have a good time. And I think it worked out.
Yeah,
it worked out great this year. So.
What did you guys end up with?
I have no idea.
Oh, see? Case in point. I got a Texas nutcracker, which was pretty cool.
Well, then I won something at her holiday party, and she goes, "Ryan, you won something. I mean, Allison, you won it."
Oh my God, and I forgot it. You just reminded me.
See? Oh my gosh.
Dang it.
See, I don't get even when I win, guys, I still lose.
I did text her. I was like, Ryan, Allison, you won something because it was wine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Fun. But shout out to them times two because they showed up to my holiday party the next day, which I'm very impressed with you guys because I would have been like, you know me, I'd been like, love y'all.
Well, we also went till 4 o'clock in the morning. So
oh my God.
We went till 4 a.m. and then we got up at I think at 8 a.m. or 8:30 to be at your event. You gotta be there for your friends.
Yeah.
And you gotta be there for your family.
This is why I'll keep them on my podcast.
Yeah, that's why we love Elena and with her and Cole, and they're on this new journey. And we're not gonna just talk about it. We're gonna be about it. Mm-hmm. And if we say we're gonna be there for people and we're gonna show up to things, we're gonna show up to things. And that's just who we are. And we'll sacrifice sleep sometimes to do it, but at the end of the day, we want to be there to support the people that are in our lives that support the heck out of us. So
because we're the two best friends that anybody can have. Don't tell Allison. Don't listen to that. She'll be mad at me. Take it back.
Anyway, we're getting into the real stuff today, but which again, this is our real life.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad she got to be here for the party. The party was a success. We can't wait to do it next year. We love doing it for our friends, and like I said, we went back. People were asking us how long we've been doing it, and I think we go back about 12 to 13 years.
Wow.
And we only missed 2 years. We missed the COVID year. Just because everyone was still unknown and it just made people uncomfortable. And then the year my mom passed away because she was just in the hospital during that time. It was just way too much for us to try to plan and try to go back and forth to Sacramento, not knowing what was going to happen with her. But other than that, for I think the last 13 or 14 years, we haven't missed a year.
How many in a row until you decided this is going to be our annual thing? Because I'm sure you guys, it all starts with let's host a Christmas party.
Oh, when did we make it an annual thing? I'd probably say year 2 or 3.
Yeah.
We said, look, this is just something we want to do. And like I said, I think we've said it on a past episode, you know, people ask, and they ask us every year, like, man, you guys do this every year. And I said, we love Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas is near and dear to our heart. My mom always made it special growing up as much as she possibly could. We just love Christmas.
Yeah.
I hate the weather because I hate cold, but I do love Christmas. And I love the way my wife makes the house at Christmas. It just feels warm. And, you know, we have a great circle of family and friends that have been there for us when we left California and left all of our family and friends behind. And we came here with a complete unknown. These people welcomed us. These people have been a part of our lives, been a part of our kids' lives. It's the least we could do to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's just come have a fun night. And, you know, I think, you know, 99% of the time, even if there's some small hiccups here and there, everyone just has a great time coming. They look forward to it every year, which means the world to us. That means that it's working the way we designed it to work.
And now I have to make sure I plan my company party on that Sunday and not that Saturday. I told my lender, Corey, who does it with me, I said, listen, bud, it's important. It's not really important, but it's important.
Gotta give yourself a buffer. Gotta give yourself a buffer.
I was like, I need that day to recover.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what are we talking about today?
So anyway, you know, end of the year's coming up, and, you know, looking at, we always, you know, kind of reflect on what we've done. And we kind of in the last episode talked about, you know, just focusing on what we've accomplished. And it's really easy to get in these ruts where you know, focus on what you didn't get done, or you had these big plans for the year and you didn't quite get there. And we don't really count the blessings or really focus on what we did accomplish. So that was kind of last episode. So kind of going into this episode and going into 2026, setting our goals for next year, I started to really think about what I need to be successful in life.
What do you need to be you?
To be me, and what I know about myself. And I was, you know, I wanted you to kind of reflect on what you think you do. Because again, we want money, we want success, we want more comfortability in your life. All those things are wants that we need, but what do we actually need to just feel like we're ourselves, to feel like we're genuine, we're happy, we're challenged, those type of things. Like a couple things for me is, like you and I talked about, I know I need to be around people. I am not a person that can be antisocial. I'm not a person that could be in a cubicle or behind a computer all day. I don't work well alone. I like being able to talk and interact with people. That's just who I am as a person.
Like leading?
I enjoy leading. Sometimes it's challenging, but I like to do it. And it's funny that you say you don't want to be isolated, because as a leader, you are isolating yourself, right? Because you know, there's gonna be a time where you got to take a hill and there's no one in front of you. You're the one leading, and everyone's behind you, and everyone's looking at you to make the call and make the right decision. That's why there's not 10 leaders. That's why there's one leader, right? So yes, I take that with a sense of pride, but that can also, maybe that's why I need to be around people so much, because being a leader can be lonely at times, because whatever decision you make impacts a lot of people, and you got to make the right one, or you at least got to try to make the right one every single time.
I would say the one thing they don't tell you when you are leading like you are, or I am in my line of work, is, like you said, it gets lonely up here for me.
Yes.
Because you can't really express your weaknesses as much to the people you're leading, right? Because you don't want them to second guess you. There's times like this year I've doubted myself.
Sure.
I'm like, oh my God, what if did I build too fast? Or when Cole jumped on the team, you know, and you're stuck in your head on these weird thoughts and you don't want to project them. So you're just kind of like figuring them out on your own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Spot on. That's
therapy.
Exactly.
That is why.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And that's how I feel a lot of times. Right. So it's like, you know, like my bosses, they're a lot more isolated. You know, they work from home. You know, they're behind computers most of the day. They're on Teams calls, things like that. They don't really have a lot of interaction in that role. And that's why I could never do their job. You know, I just, when I look at my career and I look at, you know, the next steps for me and how do I move forward, I know I can't move forward down their path. Because I know that that's just going to lead to misery for me.
Cage.
Well, it's just not who I am. And, you know, does that mean I'm going to sacrifice money? Does that mean I'm going to sacrifice title? Absolutely. That's just the way it's going to be. But I know that about myself, right? You and I talked about it before, you know, jumping on, just how you and I, we got to be challenged, and we thrive, and pressure. Elena loves the pressure, and we like to bitch and complain about how much pressure it is. Like, you know, there's days where she's in between appointments, I'm in between appointments. How are we going to get back to film for the podcast? You know, take our lunch break to film, to stop, to get, it's nonstop chaos. But we complain about that chaos, although we put it on ourselves. I don't know that I could ever thrive if I didn't have it. I think that I would be so bored if I did not have that. If I didn't have that, if that makes sense.
And remember, I did that real estate conference in August, and Tim Grover, he said, most people don't realize it's a privilege to be under pressure.
Yeah, it's a great privilege. It's
the best place you could be, because that means you have things going for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and we take it for granted, right? It's those things that we take for granted because you and I are just so busy. We've been so busy for so many years.
Yeah.
That sometimes you're like, man, give me a day.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where you and I get to. Like, I can't tell you, like, when I have a day where I'm not having to check an email, I'm not having to respond to a text, like, what a recharge that is for me, because you're nonstop, go. But like you said, I need pressure. I need to be around people. I need to be challenged. But my wife, my kids, all those things are obvious, right?
Yeah, family.
I need a path forward. As far as, like, for me, I hate going backwards. It's something that eats at me, especially in my line of work. If I feel like I sold less, or the business went backwards, or we made less money, or we sold less revenue, like, it eats at me, because I feel like my life is designed for progress.
Yep.
And I think going into next year, what I got to work really hard on is focusing on what progress looks like. And sometimes progress isn't always what's on paper. And again,
Did you read that book I sent you, Gap
I've just started it. Okay. Yeah, I just started it. So, like, I just literally just started, like, 2 days ago. That's
exactly what it is. Yeah.
So,
more
reading books. I need to do more of that next year as
well.
well.
So that's going to be in my bit. See, Allison, tune in, because part of my personal and business plan next year.
She never listens. I can talk so much smack about her.
We should start doing an episode talking all the smack.
100%. Give them all the rundowns, and then all of our friends and family will reach out to them. Did you hear what your husband said? Then maybe they'll tune in.
Of course they didn't, because they didn't listen.
They never listen.
No, but I think about, I miss reading. This year, I'm in his wife's book club. And before that, I was reading like 40 to 60 books a year. I was pretty good at reading. I love to read business books. I was doing at least one of those a month. But this year was just a lot. I was up late, and the last thing, reading contracts and emails all day long. So the last thing I want to do is just read a book.
Oh, and like I said, you want to be able to, you got to decompress and shut your brain off, right?
Yeah, and I just want to sit there and be a vegetable, watch something and not think, right? Yep. And so that's kind of how I survived this year, honestly. On my free time, is just doing things that I don't have to think, like painting and whatever. But
are these things you're going to need for next year? Do you think?
Next year, yes, 1,000,000%. Because when I was reading business books, it structured my brain on a more direct path. So my process is I would wake up in the morning, right before workout, for 20 minutes. I would read a business book. That way, when I went to go work out, I was thinking about what I read.
Yep.
And I was thinking about my day and my structure, and it just like started my day correct. And I feel like my mornings have been so off for months now, just because everything's been so inconsistent. So consistency is something that I am gonna snap back into in 2026, and that starts with my morning routine, which would be the business books.
Yeah.
Also, I like to get back into reading for leisure.
Yes.
So I love book club.
Well, I love books, you got to keep your brain, engaged, right? I mean, I think reading, if you look at anyone that's successful, any successful entrepreneur, billionaires, millionaires, all of them will tell you how much they read. And when you read 20 pages a day, it's such a achievable task.
Yeah.
But I think someone maybe said something. If you read 20 pages a day, it's like, I don't even know, X amount of books per year, or whatever it ends up being. And you're like, wow, it's just that it's chipping away at that little compound effect, right? Where it's like, let me just do a little bit each day. When we talked about progress, it's like, how do I work out a little bit more each day? Or how do I spend an extra 5 minutes in the gym this month? Next month I'll increase it.
5 minutes earlier.
5 minutes earlier. All these little things that become a habit. And then before you know it, you're that much more well-rounded. You're that much more intelligent. You're that much more energetic. Your body's in better shape. So that's really, what I'm going to lean into next year. And I think I need that. I think I need,
So what I think we're saying is what we need on top of, with pressure, to balance that pressure, in my opinion, is we need, what's it called? I just lost the thought. Not peers. People that you follow.
Just your mentors?
Mentors, thank you.
Yes.
We need mentors.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how successful you are in life. There are people like Tom Ferry, when he was in the conference. He has a mentor, right? I'm sure the President of the United States has a mentor, and so I'm going to lean more on that mentorship kind of mindset, which is business books, right? I want to start reading more books on people who have done things financially that I want to do in life.
We should just make it a thing. Let's just start our own deal, because my wife and them are not going to ever read business books. But you and I should.
Your wife's book club to leave.
No, I don't want you to leave. No, I'm not going to start a book club. But I do think what we should do is we should commit to reading one business book a month.
Yeah,
I think that's a realistic goal. I know I can achieve that goal. I know you can achieve that goal. Let's not go crazy and say one a week, but one self-help book, one motivational book, one business book a month.
I think that's doable.
All right. You guys, New Year's resolution, it's on camera.
The Nutcracker is a witness.
That's my first one, my first New Year's resolution for the year.
You have to wake up January 1st.
I'm going to.
Start your morning.
I'm going to. Oh, yeah, I will. That's not a problem.
So for New Year's, we're staying home and doing Lego.
I love it.
And so we're going to go to bed on time. We told Matt and Kinsey, we're going to go to dinner with them. But we told them, you guys are more than welcome over. We're either going to puzzle or Lego, but we can't guarantee we'll be up at midnight.
It's just, I will tell you one thing, and I'm, as you know, me and Allison we love to go do things. We're always active. My wife's crazy, which makes me crazy as far as just how busy we are, just all these things we get pulled into, especially around the holidays. Yeah. But man, more and more, I just love being at home. I think part of it is just how much travel.
You have such a great house.
Well, I think
and
part
of home.
Thank you, home. But I think it's just there was so much travel over the last couple of years, and next year, my bosses have already told me I could do a lot less traveling next year because we've already got the other businesses kind of on the right track, and I don't need to be there to oversee as much. It'll just be nice being at home.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go see a supplier next week. I just told Allison before we hopped on today, I said, hey, guys, some good news. I was going to stay for 2 nights. And now we just elected, you know what? Let's just make it one night. Let's skip golf. It's going to be cold anyway. And everyone's like, sounds perfect to me. So now I'm going to come home a day early. I'm so excited I get to go. She goes, well, you're not going to get home till later in the evening. I don't care. I'll be sleeping in my bed that night. I won't have to get up first thing in the morning to head home.
Yeah.
It's just going to be better. I just want to be home.
The traveling wears you out for sure.
It absolutely does. So how about you? What are some things besides the puzzling and the books and all those type of things? What is it that Elena Sweetser, do you know about yourself that you think you need to be the best version of yourself into 2026?
I think I still carry a lot of a negative thing that helps me become successful, which my therapist just brought up last week. He was like, love ya, but I'm going to tell you this. You are successful because you thrive out of spite. Because there's still people that I want to prove wrong.
Okay.
Right? And I was like,
you have a chip on your shoulder.
I do. Okay. And I've always had that chip on my shoulder.
Yep.
I think it goes all the way back from because I went to a private school, 6th to 12th grade. But my parents weren't like the other kids in this private school where they're just throwing money at their kids. Like, here's $500, go buy new clothes whenever you want it. Yeah. My parents no, you're getting a job. And so I used to have that. I think that's where it started. It's I was like, I'm not going to let these people be better than me, these little spoiled brats, right? Mm-hmm. And so I've always try to I hate the spoiled brat, rich money people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And because I'm I've had to work hard my whole life. And then in college, kind of same thing with just soccer. I was told I wasn't going to be a starter because I was so small. And I was like, no. And then I became a starter all 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. So I love when people tell me,
you need to be pushed. You need to be pushed.
I love when people doubt me.
Yeah, but that's you, right? So I mean, I understand what your therapist is saying in that situation, but that's who makes you makes you tick, right? So obviously you need that. I think you don't want it to consume you. Yeah. You don't want it to be that's where your only driving factor. But I'm the same way. You have that it's a chip on your shoulder. You want to prove people wrong. I think part of it too is you want to prove to yourself what you're capable of doing. And that's more for me. It's you use the excuse of these other people in your ear, or these other people that influenced you to be that way. But deep down, you're going, okay, I deserve more. I want more. I want to prove it to myself that I'm worthy of it. I want to prove to myself that I can do it, and I could do it without any help. I can do it without the silver spoon. Mm-hmm. I could do it without mommy and daddy's money. I could do it on my own. And there's some merit to that. But I think as you get older and you mature, because again, in my industry, and Elena's as well, we're around people that are very well off. Mm-hmm. And we're around people that inherited a lot of money and got put themselves in situations. And you can't necessarily blame those individuals. And I know it's very easy to judge them because you look at jealous or animosity, but you look at your path and what you had to do. But I also, the flip side of it is, okay, why am I working this hard? why am I doing all these things? Yes, it's for me and my own self satisfaction, and know that I
Mhm.
can do it, but it's also to help set up my family so that when they enter adulthood and they get into their careers and they want to move forward in their life, they have a head start.
Yeah.
So their families just did the same thing for their kids. It just may have been a
Yeah.
generation sooner, right? So,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of guys that are very silver spoon, have never worried about money their entire life, and still the salt of the earth people.
Yeah.
And their parents taught them that, you don't look down on anybody. You don't forget where you came from. You remember you did nothing to earn this money. Mom and dad earned this money.
Yeah.
This is to help guide you and give you a head start. This is not for you to be on easy street for the
Mhm.
rest of your life. And I think that's an important, correlation
Yeah.
between the two is knowing the difference. Because I
Yeah.
know the other ones that are the spoiled brats
Yeah.
that are entitled, and they never had to work for a thing in their life, and they're never going to have to work for a thing in their life,
Yeah.
and their kids are never going to have to work for
Yeah.
a thing in their life. I can't be around people like that because there's just no drive.
You
There's
and I
no
don't do well with lazy people.
well, there's just no they live in a world that's not reality.
Yeah.
In their little bubble, that's their reality, but it's not real world.
Yeah.
And I think some of the people that I've dealt with over the years that again was born into money and born into success, or took over family companies and those type of things
Mhm.
that were flourish that were doing well, thriving.
Yeah.
Never forgot the hard work that it
Well,
took
and I
to
would
get
say,
there.
and I bring up end of 2023, going to 2024, because that's really when my life changed. But I did used to carry so much jealousy and so envious and negative emotions towards the people who got it easy in life.
Uh-huh.
And then when I started to like lean more into my faith and more in acceptance of this is the cards you got dealt.
Yep.
It is what it is. And then I realized, who am I to question God's plan?
Yeah.
He put me on this path for a reason, and I can fight it all day long, but all it's going to cause is misery. Or I can just let go and say, okay, what are you trying to teach me here? Right.
Yeah, it's just
And
it's easy to do, right? We've all get that way. I've been that way too. Or you feel like we talk a lot about the show on this podcast, just about a comparison. And
Mhm.
you look at they're in the 5,000 square foot house. They've got the nice vacations. They've got the boat. They've got the brand new cars.
Mhm.
They've got seems like this life is great for these people and all those type of things. And it's very challenging not to have jealousy, not to be envious of that, especially when they're younger than you or around the same age.
Yeah.
Because then you start questioning all the decisions you made.
Mhm.
And this is for me personally. And
Yeah.
I did this over the years, especially, 10 years ago when I was in my 30s,
Mhm.
doing nothing but chasing the dollar and chasing money and chasing success was all about, I want to make sure I'm ahead of most 35-year-olds.
Mhm.
If you look at 35-year-olds, what they make in a year, what they own, what their net worth is, all those type of things, I'm going to be in the top 5%.
Yeah.
There's going to be 95% of the people behind me.
Yeah.
Right. That was always what drove me. And then it just got to the point where it's like,
driving you
what?
mad.
It is. And it's going,
Mhm.
okay, what am I? Is it because that's really important to me?
Mhm.
Or is it because I feel like I'm behind?
Yeah.
And for me, I had to do a lot of praying.
Mhm.
There was a lot of time in church. There was confession. There was, talks with my priest about these type of things about, okay, I got to change my priorities because I know this priority is not correct. I
Yeah.
know it's going to come to me. I know that if I'm a good person, I work hard and I keep my nose down and I just keep doing what I'm doing, things are going to work out for me in life. And I got to stop worrying about what other people have got going on in their lives,
Mhm.
for sure. And when I made that shift and when I made that change, my whole life changed.
Yeah.
And you're there now too, right?
Yeah.
Again, doesn't mean you don't want the next big house. You're not where you want to be for your forever home. You're still chasing, right? You're still chasing, which is so am I. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're
Yeah.
not letting it eat at you anymore with what other people have or whatever you think whatever you assume
Yeah.
they have. Because there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of assumption.
Yeah.
You think these people are just living the life and you
There's a
don't
lot
know.
of misery behind some people.
Or there could be one catastrophe away from losing everything,
Yeah.
right? They're living on debt. They're living on credit cards. They're living on showing, keeping up with the Joneses. They are living a life to impress people that they don't care about just so they can feel better about themselves. And we got to get back to, living within our means
Yeah.
and knowing what's mostly important
Well,
to
who are you
in
doing
life.
it for?
Yeah.
And I made that post, I think it was a couple days ago, because Kian Rand was like, "Will you play a game with me?" Did you see that one that I posted about him? And I was
I
like,
don't think
I
so.
was like a reflection post, and I was like, I'm thinking about
I may have. She
who I want to
posts a
be.
lot. She
I
posts a
do
lot.
not crazy Maybe. I don't know.
When it comes to Kian, but it's her baby. This mama bear.
But that's my brand, is I'm a mom. But anyway, so it was about that, and then I said something like who I want to be on this platform and who I want to be in my real estate business. And you know, there's some realtors that like shit on other realtors for not being in the office at 7 a.m. Even though they're parents, right? And I was like, I will tell you right now, if you hire me in 2026, I'm not working for my ego. I'm working for my family.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to rush my kid out the door in his most pivotal times of his life.
Yeah.
Just so I can get to the office, post a picture that I'm in the office.
So I could tell you from someone that walked down the path you're on, you're already well ahead of it. Because now I look back and I've got regret, right? I got regret with how many times I should have been there more for the kids. And and again, I've always been there for them more so than most males. And I've done everything I could to travel back early or, not sleep to be at their stuff and be there. I've been their biggest cheerleader. And I'm happy for the things I've done, but I do look back when they were young and I was so focused on the money that we were bringing into the household that I look at, like what you just said, you sacrifice that time. And now that my kids are nearly grown, my son turns 18 literally in 2 weeks. And he's off to college in, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is. And he's going to start taking this journey in his life and it's going to change. And we're not going to see him as much. He's not going to be at home as much. He's going to start his own life and he's going to date and hopefully get married and have kids and do those type of things. And I'm now seeing that shift and, it came so quick and everyone told me it was going to come quick. And when the kids are little like Kian right now, when they're 5 years old, you don't see it. You just see like, oh my gosh, 18, that's 13 years from now. I have so much time. And I'm telling you, it goes by so quick. And then my daughter's right behind that.
Yeah.
So
I know it's because I
value that time with your kids.
Yeah.
Like you just said, there's another need for Elena. Elena needs that time with her kids. She needs that time with her son. She needs to be a mom, right? Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. We start peeling back the layers of this onion and going, okay, what do we really need to be happy, to live our best life? And you've already said a couple of things just by us talking, right?
Yeah.
Just go, wow, you know what? I need to be a mom. I got to make sure I'm there. I'm not sacrificing that to be at a listing appointment at 7:30. I'll get there at 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're still going to get a rock star, a realtor. You're still going to get someone that's all over your account, but I have to have boundaries for my family.
Well, and I mean, you look at it, are you going to call your doctor and be like, I need you to meet me at 7:30. Their opening hours are between 9 and 6.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, as realtors have a little bit more flexibility just because we don't have usually offices that you come in and out of, right?
Right.
So I've tried to put my foot down and set stronger boundaries on, I can meet you at these times, because next thing you know, and I've done this, and that's why I went crazy, is you're just running around everywhere. You have like no schedule, you have no consistency, because you're like, okay, Elena, can you show me house of 3? Sure. And you're coming from like this area over here at 12. So now you're running late to here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's really
just chaos. You're all over the place. And
mental state.
Yeah.
Well,
you're putting all this extra pressure on yourself when you already have a ton of pressure.
Yeah.
So it's like, you and I are two people that do not need to add pressure to our lives. We already have enough of it.
You're ready for this?
Yeah.
I am now the organizer of the family group in my HOA.
Oh my God. I'm done feeling sorry for you. You know what I need? I'm going to tell Elena, I am no longer going to feel sorry for you because you are just like my wife. My wife continues to say yes and take things on, and then she will complain about it.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, I don't have enough time. I don't have time. I'm like, Allison, no one forced you. I told you like the story where she slipped in, taking over the president of the cheer.
Yeah.
And I just knew it. I knew this about my wife, and she just can't help herself.
Yeah.
She has to be a leader. She has to be the boss. She likes
she has good systems and she has good ideas.
She's very, very good at it, but she thrives off it and she loves it. And no matter how hard she tries to pretend that she's going to take a back seat, we all know she's so full of crap. And because people have been asking her to be the president of cheer for the last couple of years, and she keeps pushing off only because she knows I'm going to hammer her about it. Because I'm like, guys, I mean, she volunteers at the church. She volunteers for she's heavily involved at PTA. She's involved in Addison's All-Star cheer and the high school cheer. All these events that she does. She's been on. I mean, she's a super mom. Yeah. And which is why I always tell people that she's the greatest blessing that's ever happened to me. And she is.
Your wife is the heart of the home.
100 and then some. She's everything. But she takes more and more stuff on. So when this lady, her daughter's a senior. And I was in the hot tub one night and she just slipped it in. And she didn't think I heard it, but I heard it. And she goes, oh, she said, oh, when you take over next year. And I was like, what? And she's like, and what? I'm like, what did you just say? And she knew she messed up. She knew I caught it. I'm like, you just took on the.
No, come back here, honey.
I'm like, you just agreed to take the president. She's like, well, pay it. I'm like, oh my God, Allison, you're the president of freaking Marcus Cheer. I'm like, Addie or Allison, when are you gonna stop taking this stuff on? But she just won't. She just won't.
You have 2 more years at most with Addie, her doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? And that's how I kind of see it. I'm like, my kid's a kid once.
Yep, that's how Alpha looks at it. Alpha wants every ounce that she can get, and again, I love her for it, and I'm actually glad that she puts me in my place there because she brings me back to that reality.
Yeah.
And because again, most people would just say, I'm not taking that on. I don't have the time. It's just too much. And I'm like, okay, when you say it's too much, what is it you're really sacrificing to take this on?
Yeah.
I'm sacrificing sleep. I'm sacrificing TV time. I'm sacrificing, and I'm like, you're really not sacrificing that much for what you gain with that time with your kids. Because again, the kids are going to look back and they're going to be able to say, my mom and dad did everything they could to be a part of our lives. They took us on one-on-one trips. They made it a point to do one-on-one things with us. Like me taking Addison out to dinner, or me and her cooking in the kitchen together, and we kick Allison and Dylan out of the house, and me and her make a meal, and we're laughing and joking, and we got music going, and just little things, dance with my wife in the kitchen. All these little key memories along the way. It's the most important. It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It by far is the most important thing.
He still talks about Sonic Mommy Key and Night. Remember when I posted that video and he came home and there was balloons and we did the themed dinner. And that's why I started kind of doing those. And we're doing that for Home Alone on Saturday.
Can't wait.
The first time he's watching Home Alone, we're going to have mac and cheese, pizza, the mini Sunday bar, all the stuff. And then I found like activities.
Post it on Casual. You got to post on Casual.
Yeah.
We got to start doing more of this. And, Amber, because I think we need her to remind us, but we need to post more of this behind the scenes stuff.
Oh God.
Because we talk a lot about it.
We talk trash.
Well, and we talk a lot about just all these little things that we do to make our life beautiful.
Yeah.
And to try to carve out this creative life.
Yeah.
And again, it may just be ideas where people don't even think about it, but those little things like setting up a Home Alone night.
Yeah.
It costs you $50 or whatever it is for a night with your family. And he's going to think it's dinner. That 100%. But that's going to include, he's going to think that's the coolest thing ever.
Well, he's going to remember that forever. Yeah. And then when he is an adult, he's probably want to replicate it with his family, you know? And at the end of the night, we're all going to take the photo. Then I bought an ornament that's a frame, and then we'll do that with the year.
I love it.
So every year when we see the Christmas tree, we'll be like, I remember when you watched Home Alone for the first time.
I love it.
So
I love it. He's gonna love that movie.
Yeah,
it's a game changer Christmas movie for sure.
He's Kev. So
yeah, the battle plans, man. It's the best. Every time it's on TV, I still watch it to this day.
It was just on when we walked in.
It's always background music.
Home Alone 2, though, I think.
Maybe, Home Alone, Christmas Vacation. Allison always has Christmas movies on in the background. When she's cleaning the house or working on the house because she just likes the feeling of like I said, Christmas is a big deal. So
well, if you guys want to crash our party, you're more than welcome.
I'd love to. She's got cheer all day Saturday. So
and by the way, any parents, ChatGPT is amazing. I found a build where my son could build a mini Home Alone home.
Oh,
like they found the instructions and everything. So use ChatGPT. It saved me time, but it took me about 2 hours to plan.
Yeah, and it's gonna be.
I think cost wise, I think I'll be up to like $72 is what I checked last. But that once again, that includes food.
Yeah.
And that's a memory.
It's 100%. It's gonna be, and you guys are gonna freaking love it. And it's gonna be, again, what a cheap night when you think about it in today's world. It's way more memorable than going out to dinner.
We go to CC's and it's $50 just for CC's.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
Anyways.
Anyway, guys.
What do you need in your life?
What do you need in your life? Reflect on 2025 as you go into 2026. And Elena and I, we and her are gonna continue to do this, is really just look at what drives you. What makes you tick? What do you really want more out of life? Is it more vacation? Is it more time with your family? Is it more money? Is it, better health? Really think about what you really need to be happy. Stop chasing. More into that. Yeah, stop chasing what you think happiness is, or stop chasing what you think the person next door has and you think you got to compare to that. Like, just live your life. What they've got going on in their life has no reflection on what you're doing. So anyway, that's our advice to you guys.
And I will end it by saying the best thing I ever did for myself, which my therapist taught me, is to figure out my own measuring stick of success. Figure out yours and you'll be a lot happier.
Great way to close it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Peace.
Take care.